When it comes to human and the supernatural, there would always be those with darkness in their hearts, willing to kill their own family for power. This is the story of skinwalkers. Introduction. Skinwalkers are creatures that hold a special place in the Navajo people's legend. More about them a bit later on in the video. A witch that used dark and forbidden practices that are opposite of Navajo people's values. That is, the creatures we're talking about today. Skinwalkers, as the name implied, they can shift into animal skins, mimicking them in a way almost akin to the animal they try to copy, but just a bit different than the original. They can mimic any animal or human sound. They can use tools, they have shelters, and they can and will do anything in their power to harm anyone and anything unfortunate enough to cross paths with them, as long as they see fit. Let's dive deeper in all of what makes a skinwalker the legend it is, and even more. First, how to become a skinwalker. A hero, someone using their power for good. Ironically, they would kill someone, in most cases, someone connected to them, to gain their power. Another way to become a skinwalker is by using rituals to become animals. The more it's done to get power, the more corrupt an individual becomes, turning them into a skinwalker. There are overall two variants, one that can shapeshift if only one animal, their whole existence, and the other that needs a special ritual to transform, with the animal hide, blood, guts, and whatever needed for the ritual itself. They can shapeshift in the animal made the ritual for, therefore, they can turn into many animals. A person can be cursed by a skinwalker to become one themselves, but more on that later on. Lore. A skinwalker is usually depicted in two ways. When in animal form, the first is the form of a coyote, for example, since it's believed to be a mischievous animal and other related to that title. The other way that are commonly seen are in the form of creature that represent the symbolized death. Normally, the stories of natives that have had an encounter with the creature are either a hero fighting the skinwalker and winning or losing the battle, or an encounter that would lead to the person coming close to the hoja that scares the skinwalkers. Hoja is the primary traditional dwelling of the Navajo people. Generally, when something unexpected and unexplained happened, it's blame on the wendigo, like in an especially bad weather event, unexplained illnesses or deaths that follow a person seemingly out of nowhere. The legends of skinwalkers are prevalent, especially in modern media. However, as their native name implies, Inoloshi, it's gonna be on the screen. Translated by means of it, it goes no force. That's a lot easier to say. There are more than one variant of these harmful witches, but the one we see the most are the four-legged depiction in media. The natives are reluctant to share the legends of the skinwalkers and what it represents, since we lack the cultural context that to them is self-explanatory, though we are nagging them to tell us all about skinwalkers, even though they don't want to. It hasn't stopped us one bit trying to, clench our curiosity. Lastly in this section, Skinwalker Ranch in Utah jumpstarts a fascination with the creatures, with all the creepy, bizarre, and outright terrifying supernatural things that happen there. Have you heard about the Skinwalker Ranch? Powers. The first and most commonly depicted one is the shape-shifting one. Shape-shifting allows them to gain supernatural power, such as flight, when transformed into a bird, or supernatural speed when transformed into a wolf, for example. Mimicry is another power in their arsenal. Basically, they can mimic the sound of either an animal or human, more specifically, those close to the person, their own haunt or even his own taunt them. They have special whistles that can be heard only by the Navajo people's dogs that would stop them from identifying them and alerting the people. Because dogs would usually get to feel the presence a lot sooner, so they do that to bypass that. Witchcraft is another specialty of theirs. They can inflict illness or weaken the person, they can influence the strength up, even control them. To top it all off, they can even reanimate the dead. Even the base human form has supernatural speed and strength. Glowing eyes are another one of their characteristics. Is glowing eyes, if you shine a light into the animal's form, the eyes become red. Lastly, they can have a special burrow of sorts for rituals that they store their belongings and can even trap people in them. How to spot it? As we mentioned, its eyes are a giveaway. The human form has more animalistic eyes, while the animal form has eyes akin to humans. Usually, they are spotted naked, covered only by wolf or coyote skin. The newer, not so experienced skinwalkers, they move rigid and the skin is not quite right. Overall, they are not too hard to spot, but more experienced ones can fool us. Well, so look at their eyes. Ways to kill a skinwalker. There are a few ways to kill a skinwalker. Some say bullets deep in ash are enough to get the job done, though depends on which type of tree burned for ash. It has different strengths and capabilities. If there are any rituals done to the ash, it makes it more efficient as well. Overall, you can use ash to keep the skinwalker away like a protective circle. Silver is another thing set to kill a skinwalker. It's especially efficient if combined with ash. A shaman is yet the most effective way to kill one though. Sightings. Skinwalker sightings have been reported all over the world, which is very surprising considering they can be found only in the Navajo people's territory around Arizona and New Mexico in the USA. We don't have a lot of information from natives since they are hush hush about it, but that hasn't stopped us from creating our own lore about them. Sightings vary, but in general, there are a few main tropes I was able to find in the mainstream media. First one being something unnatural is lurking in the shadows either in the forest next to campers or around a secluded house that is being progressively more and more stalked by an entity. Those encounters genuinely end up without fatal end. Second type are encounters of avid hikers, mountaineers, and people who spend time outdoors, that are aware of legends and manage to either find shelter and safety or have met their end, and we hear about them stories from a journey they had. Next up would be an avid fan of the paranormal seeking out to find something paranormal, but it finds them first, and throughout the story our protagonist is nearly killed, but they either manage to kill the skinwalker or someone helps them drive it away. If you can think of anything else, let me know down in the comments. Next up, a bit about Navajo people. The Navajo people are indigenous to the southwest United States. Their language is Navajo, same as their name, which is a translation of this, which will be on screen, which came from Spanish translations in the 18th century. Population-wise, there are about 400,000 spanning over Navajo Nation, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and California, thought to have come 1,000 years ago. At first, they were hunter-gatherers, but as time went on, they settled, they got sheep and goats from travelers, and started farming. Navajo people believe in restoring balance and harmony to oneself. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video. Consider liking, subscribing and sharing all the good stuff. It's my goal to hit 1000 subscribers by the end of the year so I can be cool. If you enjoy stories about cryptids, you can check the first one I did about wendigo. You might find it interesting. Till next time, see ya.